Nacon Daija Arcade Stick Review. Out of the box, the Nacon Daija was huge and heavy, but once I got used to it, it became comfortable to hold for long periods of time. Its large space around the buttons and joystick gave my hands ample room to move. When you've found a good location for the Daija, you'll be able to enjoy an arcade-style gamepad that feels great to play with. It has short travel times, so commands are performed quickly and responsively. Customization is also surprisingly easy. On the front of the case, you'll see two screws holding the lid closed. Remove them and lift off the cover. You'll then see a small latch on either side of the stick. Pull these down and slide the stick out. Then remove the screw heads and pull the sticks apart. Once they're separated, you can easily swap out the bat or the handle. If you can afford it, the Nacon Daija is a good choice. But if you don't want to spend too much, the Arcade Stick Pro is a better option. The Nacon Daija is definitely one of the most expensive gaming peripherals out there, but if you're looking for a top-notch controller, then the Nacon Daija might just fit the bill. The Nacon Daija is available in PS5, PS4 and Xbox Series X vertical bar S flavors, so be sure you're buying the right stick for your console of choice. Thankfully, both sticks also work on PC. So if you primarily play on a desktop, the differences largely come down to aesthetics. If you're new to using sticks, you may feel intimidated by their large size and heavy weights. However, because they are so well balanced, these factors actually help them stand up better than most other toys. You'll start by playing around with the joysticks and the 8 faces, both of which feel good to use. They're easy to press and give a nice, springy response. Sequential button presses and multi-button inputs are simple to perform. The Nacon Daija has a joystick that feels just as good to play with as any other game controller out there. Its design resembles the stick found on an old-school video game cabinet, and its controls give you plenty of room for more complicated inputs. On the right side of the controller, there are ancillary controls including L3, R1, a PS5-like touchpad, and more. These controls are placed so that they don't interfere with the main joystick and face button inputs. There are toggle switches for changing the operating system and mapping the joystick to either the left or right analog sticks. Rounding out the button position are those located at the top of the controller. Here you'll see your gamepad's home button and another to switch between profile settings made via the Nacon companion app. At the top of the controller, you'll also see a switch that locks the home and profile buttons so they cannot be pressed during gameplay. This is an excellent feature if you're playing in an online or competitive environment, as it prevents accidental button presses during matches. It's primarily designed for playing fighters, but its 4 buttons allow you to use any setup of 6 buttons. Regardless of which fighting game you decide to pick up, responsiveness was spot on across the board. We played a wide variety of fighting games with the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, including modern titles like Guilty Gear Strive, and older ones like Tekken 7 and Street Fighter V. With its arcade controls, the Daija was a good option for playing games like Street Fighter 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle: Shredder's Revenge. It was also a good choice for games like Super Smash Bros., which feature an arcade-like control scheme. It's a versatile sword that complements virtually any fighting genre. As a result, I was able to get much use out of its customizable button profiles. Being able to quickly switch between different button configurations makes switching between genres easy.